there's a clear difference between practicing for the speedrun versus actually doing the speedrun in a real ranked match. Because when I first started playing MCSR ranked, I already knew that my plan going in was to just practice private rooms, and the biggest reason is that there's no pressure when actually doing them, right? I mean, to be fair, I was still getting back into speedrunning, so I had to basically relearn the entire speedrun, and more specifically, since I wasn't a 1.16 runner back then, I basically had to get used to bastions and stuff, right? So private rooms are good because I get to learn in my own pace. There's no real pressure from like elo and stuff, and I get to learn all the new tech stuff like Ninja Brain or Jingle and stuff like that. So in that sense, practice is really good for that reason. However, once you like start playing for real, private rooms don't really capture the full extent of a ranked match, and like I never really internalized that until now. So for context, this video I was supposed to upload last week as like one of the many weekly videos I would start uploading in case I didn't get any notable speedrunning stuff. Basically just talking about random stuff about the speedrun, nothing really personal yet. However, last week I really wanted to hit Emerald 3, which is 1400 elo before I uploaded this video. And that video got delayed because just last night I actually hit Emerald 3. So to tie that into the main topic, the fact that it took me that long to hit Emerald 3 emphasizes what I said in the beginning of the video, which is that practice and ranked matches are like two different things. And of course, I think the biggest difference is actually just that ranked matches have proper stakes, while practice doesn't really have it. I mean, practice can't really replicate it, even though you could. I mean, to be fair, you can play your practice, your private room matches as if there's actual stakes, like you're gonna play fast on purpose or something like that. But like, the reality of that is that there is no stakes when you're doing private rooms. There's no elo to lose, and it just feels different when you're playing in a ranked match. So the moment I like have to do a real ranked match, it's really when it shows that I just have really bad nerve control. I mean, to be fair, for most of like the situations where there's high stakes or something like that, uh, I end up doing fine because it's not execution based, right? But when it's Minecraft speedrunning, which is mostly execution based, I really mess up a lot. Like my inventory management, my crafting gets shaky, my mouse gets shaky, and the worst thing of all is that the worst part of it all is that I end up dying a lot more that doesn't even come up in practice. Like I've never seen some of these deaths ever before in practice, but it just happens on the real run for some reason. It doesn't even help that I end up developing bad habits. I think my worst one is actually just forgetting to toggle hard mode back to easy whenever I do wood lights or like play a housing bastion, for example, right? I end up forgetting, and then I end up dying to something later down in the run, and then that's when I only realized I forgot to toggle hard mode back to easy. It's so freaking dumb, and I'm trying to get rid of that habit, but sometimes it just happens once in a while, and I get really angry because of it, right? Now, what ends up happening is that I just get a really high throw rate, and I end up just losing games, even though I have better pace than my opponent. And to understand the impact of this, before I even hit 1400 elo, I couldn't even hit 1350 for a while. So all of the times I'd just be skirting to like the 1350 range, like or like 1330 something, right? And I was on that range 11 different times. That means there were 11 different games where if I had won, I would have hit 1350 and above. And I don't know why, but for those 11 times, I just end up losing the game. Majority of it to the dumb throws I just like mentioned earlier, right? And rarely does it come from actually losing from like, I don't know, my opponent being like better at the game. I mean, one time though, there was one time I lost, and my opponent hit a sub 9 on me, which is like, I've never seen that before. Because to be fair, I haven't gotten sub 10 yet at this point, and like that was my first time getting sub 10, and I'm still like an Emerald 2 player. Like, what the hell, man? So that was just like a skill diff, and the guy was actually just really good at the game, right? But that's not really the part that like pisses me off. The one that really pisses me off with these losses is the crashes. For some reason, whenever I alt tab from my game, like because it's on full screen, and I go back to it when it's full screen, the game just decides to crash. I don't know why. It's probably something with my Java version, and I'll probably fix it at some point. But at the time, I was really not in the mood to like deal with that situation, right? But that situation happened twice. So mid, like, how do I say this? Two different times, two different matches, I accidentally alt tab, go back to the game, and the game crashes, and I immediately lose my game, and I lose 20 elo. It's so freaking dumb. And like, not only like did it make me lose the game, it counts as a forfeit. So it gave me forfeit percentage in my profile. It's so dumb because I don't really intend to forfeit on purpose, but the game just counts it as a forfeit. Like there's no reconnect, like there's no, what's it called, grace period where I can just reconnect to the game. I'm not really sure if that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing. Is that, can that even be a thing? I don't know. Someone contact Redline. I don't freaking know. But yeah, I don't intend to forfeit most times, right? So having to get forfeit percentage was really really bad. Um, but that doesn't mean I didn't forfeit though. There are times where there was one time I had to forfeit because I was losing so much, or it was like flipping up and down every time. I get a win lose, and the losers were pissing me off because so many of it was just straight up dying to stupid stuff I keep doing and like not fixing, like bad habits that I keep doing even though like I should be recognizing them already and like trying to fix them, right? So one time I got so like I was just not into it. I was so pissed that I had to forfeit one match on purpose after dying just to recoup the mental, right? I didn't like doing the forfeit, and I probably will try to not do it again. No guarantees there, but uh I just had to forfeit to basically recover my mental and like go into the next game with a better mindset, or basically with a more calm demeanor, and like probably try to enjoy the game. I don't want to hate the game, right? I don't want to hate Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft for a long time, right? So yeah, but yeah, the losing was bad. I mean, at some point, okay, besides the 1350, right? At some point, I just kept losing. I almost hit back gold. I almost hit. Oh my gosh, let me. I almost returned back to gold 3, which low-key would have been embarrassing for me. I mean, like I was around 1300 for like most of like the time, and then for some reason I lose like 5 straight games, and like majority of them is just me dying to stupid stuff, and then I'm back down to like 1206 or something like that, right? I don't remember the exact number. And during those times I really wanted to go back and practice private rooms just to like, warm up, I guess, or like get used to playing the game. But as much as like it would have helped, I think actually brute forcing ranked matches has its benefits. I mean, even though losing sucks, I figured out like that I should probably keep losing until I develop the consistent style. And what I mean is that since there's actual stakes, there's actual pressure, which can honestly create a better performance than just like solo practice. I don't see that in myself, but I can definitely feel like how there being proper stakes basically encourages me to actually play a bit faster than what I'm comfortable with. It's not like whole concept with like the flow state where you have to balance skill and challenge to actually push beyond your limits. In my case, it's not really flow state because I'm ass at the game to be at that level, but for now it's mostly like reaching that point where I'm actually being comfortable in like being in this 1v1 situation, or being comfortable in these ranked matches basically. Because honestly, while I have bad nerves, that's also because I just barely play any multiplayer games where I have to seriously like face someone online, right? I'm just not used to being accustomed. I'm not. Oh my gosh, I'm tripping on my words. I'm just not accustomed to being in that situation, and hopefully, like the more I play ranked matches, I'll just get better at it. But anyway, I'm about to ramble too much, so let's just tie it back to the beginning, basically. Um, Now that I've actually hit Emerald 3, I'm actually just gonna go back to practicing in private rooms. For the past few days, I've been brute forcing ranked matches until I hit 1400, which probably was not a good idea, but it really uh, helped me get used to like being in that type of situation, right? But now that I've hit 1400, I really need to go back and practice a bit more in private rooms, because as much as I like ranked matches have their benefits, it does work the other way around. To explain, basically, like from playing ranked a bunch of times, I figured out I'm now fumbling on like stuff like bastion routes, and like I'm even fumbling on like the portal build, specifically the 2x1s. For some reason, I keep messing them up now, and now I'm just forcing the L shape most of the time, which I don't want to do because I'd rather do the faster one. But like I was messing them up like 3 to 4 times in one run, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, let's just do the L shape. But besides that, there's a few things I should probably try more. So that's where private rooms really work well. It's basically practicing like new tech that you're trying to practice, or like new bastion routes or something like that, right? And generally, I might have to push myself to play even faster, since I've been comparing some of my averages to like the other Emerald players I've been playing against, and I have a relatively low average. Specifically, I have like a 1650 average, and I'm looking at these opponents, and they have like sub 15 average, or like um 12-minute averages, which is crazy. But then, to be fair, if you look at the win rates, my win rates are like higher by like 6% or something like that, right? So who's to say that their average was actually real because they were actually playing matches, or like they were just forfeiting really slow runs or something like that, right? But besides like comparison with other players, I definitely need to like optimize my overworlds and bastion routes. Overworld specifically because my buried treasures, like I'm really slow at recognizing buried treasure, and I really want to get the decision making for villages like down really well. There are some villages where I play insanely well from like good decision making, but some other times it's just like really bad and I enter at like sub 4 minutes, which is so ass, but you know what I mean. And for bastion routes, I probably just need to learn to get faster because, like, on practice, they look fast, but in real runs, I end up, like, doing unnecessary stuff that makes it slow. I think this run in the video right now, I think my housing on that run was pretty good because that was pretty fast. I ended up leaving at, like, sub 530, which is fine. Not the best, but, it's good enough or, like, better than my usual, basically, right? I also need to practice like fortress pre-crafts since there are a lot of times where I'm just rarely fast enough. Like there are not many times where I'm fast enough to blind before I have 6 rods, and I feel like uh reaching that point would be nice because you get to pearl hang basically. Like you get to blind before having 6 rods. You go back, and then it gives you time to spawn the next cycle of blazes, and it also gives you time to just pearl hang to where the second portal would be, which is like generally a good time save than just waiting for 6 rods. Then leaving at that point, right? Although I'd still prioritize the pre-crafts. Like if I have to, I will pre-craft first because I just think pre-crafting beds and anchors and bow beforehand is just like more comfortable than just like crafting them in the portal room basically. But yeah, even after practicing, like all that practice I just said I was gonna do, I'm probably gonna fall off of Emerald 3 really quick because it's just gonna be that repeated cycle of practicing to get your skill level up and then playing ranked to get used to the nerves. So I'm probably gonna lose like 5 games in a row and go back to like 1300, 1200, and I'll probably be fine with that. It's more so just like a balancing act. Uh, and the moment I'm done practicing again and then I go back to real round matches, I'm probably just gonna lose a bunch and then like get used to nerves and hopefully play well enough to the point that I can probably hit Diamond 1, right? But if for some reason I can win my next five, yeah. If for some reason I can win 5 matches in a row, that would genuinely be crazy, and I'll just hit Diamond 1 already. But who knows? Oh my gosh, bro, what the fuck? Ah, god damn, I'm so freaking shaky.